I should close those two down now. Yes.
I feel like I've slowed down so much with this coursework. It's obviously because I'm just getting into a new routine now.
Yeah, and, but we've had Easter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to go into Learner. Come on, you don't start playing up with me now. For some reason, my camera's not come on.
Yeah, it's popping up icons and stuff, and it's stuck on Unit 1 and here. But yeah. I'll understand word-wise. It'll be okay. I'll get rid of it and I'll reload it again. So I spoke to Samit today, and he said that might be a good idea to do.
Okay, Learner Management System. So, log in.
They were getting very impressed with the course. I was explaining to my head teacher that I need some observations, so I spoke to her about it. Just a basic thing. I didn't tell her anything about the assessors or awards or anything. And she was like, that's a good thing. And I've got an interview tomorrow for a permanent position at the school from September. So hopefully that'll go in good stead.
But you'll be finished for then.
Yeah.
Right. Level 5 diploma. So I'm going to look at two sheets as usual, the cover sheet. No, I'm not. I'm going to look at this one.
So the amplification and suggested evidence, yep.
Yeah. I'm going to save that to desktop at the minute. Make sure I've got down here. And the other one is amplification. This is the last unit that I have an amplification for, because these are once you finish these four, that's your core units finished.
Yeah.
So I'll save again. I'll go up here down here.
Phil, do you guys teach English for? Because I've been looking, because I know I need to get level 3 English as well. Do you guys teach English and literature and language for teaching? Do you do any of those courses?
No, academic English, you mean?
Yeah, because I was just looking at 3 courses, and that was what came up widely.
Yeah, we've looked at that, and it's actually not all that useful. Because the type of language that you've got to use totally depends on your audience.
Right, okay.
The little ones, or even up to, say, 12 years old, academic English would not be a good thing to use with them.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I've just done this with an assessor elsewhere who'd written his feedback in academic English, and quite flowery at that. And looking to the people who were actually receiving that feedback, they would have found it very difficult to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my whole point was just to make sure, because I want to maybe go into ESOL or EAL teaching, so I thought it's a good idea to just get that level 3 in, and over the summer, hopefully. So, got a while,
Again, it gives you the unit aim, which we won't go over. Again, there are no essential resources for this unit, but because the whole course is practically based, as you can see now, there is an academic side to it, of course. And Unit 3 was probably the best example of that. But the rest of it requires you to call on experience and knowledge of documentation and systems, as well as just concepts.
Yeah.
So this one, sorry?
I was saying this is more about quality assurance, isn't it?
There's all sorts of things in here, actually. I'll quickly run through the unit. Learning objective 1 is understand professionalism and the influence and its values, 2 is understanding policy concepts of educational training, It's looking at the management side of it as much as anything, 3 is understanding the impact of being accountable to well, you obviously know by now just how many people you are accountable to.
Yeah.
Explain how being accountable to stakeholders impacts on the organisation. Yeah.
Yep.
And why is it important to work in partnership with employers and other stakeholders in education and training? That is becoming more and more common today now.
Yes, that's true.
Not just with work-based learning, things like that. Schools are getting involved with local companies and things like that now. Young schools, young children as well.
No, that is true, because I've noticed it quite a bit in the school that I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah. Understand the organisational context of educational training. Yeah. And be able to contribute to the quality improvement of policy assurance arrangements in your own organisation. 5.234, and that is it.
Yes, it's not overly long. It's just getting a bit more information, isn't it?
This one,
yeah.
Wait till you get to the next one. It's 2.
Really? Are they long in the 2, or are they just a couple each?
No, there's just a couple each. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
It's fairly fast.
So I'm hoping that I'll get my corrections done by Sunday, and I'll send them to you. And I'm finding it hard to work during the week at the moment because obviously fasting and work.
Yeah.
So I've got a week off the week after, and I'll do it then.
Good catch up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like this. I like being, you know me. I like being on track and maybe being ahead of what I meant to do. So it's a headache.
Give me some impetus. One of my other students is you're catching her up very quickly, and hopefully I'll be able to put you both on the same.
That'll be good.
On the same lesson. She's got a little bit sidetrack with a lot of other things, getting some childcare sorted out, things like that. And it set her back a little bit. So if you do join together, it might give her a bit of impetus to keep moving again.
No, that's true.
So the first one
has she done Unit 4?
Nearly.
All right. Okay. So hopefully, when I catch up, then we'll be on the same level.
You're that far off her, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's up to the last parts of Unit 4.
Okay.
So
my plan is to get this done within the half term, so
it's looking at defining the concepts of professionalism and dual professionalism in education and training. So professionalism, what is it? It is autonomy to a certain extent, codes of conduct, roles and responsibilities, concepts of leadership. Because those are the things, as a teacher, you're the classroom manager. You are leading a group. So you've got several roles and responsibilities. You have a certain amount of autonomy. Yeah. There are specific codes of conduct that you've got to be aware of, and national bodies, national professional standards, and professional recognitions in higher qualifications. Yeah. So the only bit for this is a tutor presentation plus any reading matter that's relevant. I've put some stuff on the VLE so you can pick up on that as well. Thank you. Now, it goes into dual professionalism, and there are a number of concepts I've read on this that, quite honestly, are not quite right. I mean, these are professional theorists and so forth. Dual professionalism was never an issue until probably the last 50 years. Mostly, teachers went through a process of leaving school, going to university, getting a degree and a teaching qualification, and then going into teaching. Right. And that's how it happened. All teachers went the same way. So dual profession is like what you've done, that you were an engineer and then you went into teaching. Yes. Anybody that's had a profession, doesn't matter what it is, I mean, engineering just one, who have had a professionalism, but I maintain that there isn't that much different, because if you go back to what it says up there, professionalism, a certain amount of autonomy, working to a code of conduct, you've got several roles and responsibilities and concepts of leadership, and you are answerable to national bodies and national professional standards. And of course, as you move forward in your profession and get noted for things, then certainly you get recognition. But not just higher qualifications, but whatever professional area you are in, people then start to recognise you. So dual professionalism, specialist area plus specialist teaching, membership of any professional bodies or the Institute for Learning or the Society of Mechanical Engineers, qualified teacher learning skills, QTLS, national professional standards. So it's looking at for me, dual professionalism means that you have got two sets of regimes that you as a person work to, things you will do and things you won't do. Yeah, and it's the standard that you want everybody to recognise you for. Yeah. Mine was always leading towards quality. Literally, near enough wouldn't do. It's either got to be right or not at all.
Yes.
And it's a way of looking at things. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
And then 1.2 is an explanation of the ways in which your own professional values influence your practice in your area of specialism. That's dead easy. I mean, it's all about why you do what you do and why you approach it in that way. So it is reflective to a certain extent, but it's saying where you stand, what you stand for. Yeah. Hello. Have I lost you? Hello. I've lost you again.
Hello?
Got you back.
Yeah, it just fell off then. That's weird. It's not happy today.
No, it's not at all. Well, actually, we're not going to go any further this evening. I'm going to give you learning objective 1, because that sets the stall out for the rest of the unit, actually. Because once you've said why you're a professional and your professional attitudes and what they stand for, it then goes on to management processes within the education sector. Really. So that first bit is if you give me the two bits of outstanding work from 1 and 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll get that over the weekend.
I think I said 2 sorted itself out if you correct 1. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you've done that, if you just make a start on this one before next week, and let's have a look where you're up with it, and then if that's okay, we'll then move on to 2. Yeah. 2 is quite a big one.
Sorry, can I ask one quick question?
Do
you know, I've got my interview tomorrow, and then I'm going to, obviously I need to sell myself, and I'm going to be talking to them about that. I'm doing my course, and then just to make myself clear, the Level 3 Assessor Award is just, that it shows that I can assess students' work, isn't it?
It's using what, sorry?
Do you know the Level 3 Assessor Award that happens right at the end of this?
It's so that you understand the process of assessment, and you can actually do some assessment, because it asks you again, like this one, it asks for documentation. So you would have to produce evidence of your assessments of 2 students' work, yeah? And it goes again. Now, I have set the program up to be basically task-based. So I've set certain tasks, and if you complete those tasks, you will have covered the criteria. I think there are about 15 tasks to do, and I will go over the detail of what you've got. I've got there are all sorts of PowerPoint presentations on there to cover that as well. But we'll cover that if you want to look at it later.
And then the level 4 IQA is internal quality assessor, isn't it?
I don't recommend anybody to do that course until they've been assessing for at least a year.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not. It used to be called internal verifier. And the internal verifier looked after sort of deal with the awarding body, and also looked after the assessors. Yeah.
So you need a bit more, you need experience before you can go on to that. Okay.
Well, it's more than that now. It's actually a strategic post now, because it deals with the awarding body, yes, and it makes sure the standards and policies and procedures are in place, and there is a strategy for internal verification within the organisation.
Right,
and it's there to advise and support assessors to make sure they've not got too much work on and all that sort of thing. It's a management process now, and it's a strategic management process, because the organisation that you're working for will expect you to feed information back into the senior management team where things need to change. Yeah. So it does require some experience, really, before you take that on. And again, the course is fairly short. It's a level 4, and again, it's only 2 units. But it requires, I've made that into workbooks.
Right.
But there is quite a lot of academic stuff and management stuff in there. And that's the difference mainly in between.
But I won't talk about that tomorrow. I'll talk about the assessor.
The assessor one, it's important because a lot of qualifications are now going over from exams to continual assessment.
Yes.
Because it actually, if you think about the way you're being taught now, what it does, it allows you to move forward at your own pace, but it allows you to make mistakes and come back from them, and then understand why you've had to go back to it, so that you actually learn an awful lot quicker and remember what you've done, rather than if you've just sat an exam and then walked away. And then,
that is true. I am finding that I prefer this style of teaching to
2 months later, you've asked some questions. If you're asking the exam, you'll be going, hang on.
I don't know.
but this way, it does actually, because it makes you think about what you're actually doing. That's enough for tonight. If you want to get on to making some food
I need to
9 o'clock.
I'm in the kitchen now.
So that's fine. Look to complete those 2 bits on 1 and 2, and then look at the 1 and 2 on Unit 4, and then we'll see where we're up to next week. Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant.
Superb.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Bye.